In the previous class, we have discussed regarding the principles of surveying. In that, we have studied regarding how to determine the location of point by measurement from two points of reference. In that, we have discussed regarding the 5 different methods in order to determine a point by having 2 points of reference, and then how we should work from whole to part and why it should be done. We have studied in the previous class. Now, in today's class, we are going to enter into a very important aspect of surveying. Surveying, basically what we are going to measure is, we are going to measure distance, direction and elevation. We are going to measure. In order to understand the distance, direction and elevation, we should know what are the different types of units or units of measurements what we are going to use in order to determine distance, direction and elevation. So in today's class, we will be discussing regarding the units of measurements and surveying measurements. Okay, so let's see one by one what are the different units of measurement. Now the measurement has been divided into 3 types. Okay, the measurement, whenever we want to take the measurement, we divide it into 3 parts, that is 1 dimension, 2 dimension and 3 dimension. Now what is this 1 dimension? Okay, now what is this 1 dimension? The dimension which has only one power of unit. Okay, in simple words, right, in simple words, if you are traveling from home to office, now whatever the distance you are going to measure from the home to office, that we are going to say it is an 1 dimension, because you are going to measure through only one in one direction. So the home to distance or the home to office, whatever the distance, suppose it is 1 kilometer is there, then this particular distance is called as an 1 dimension. Okay, we are going to call it as an 1 dimension. Suppose home to office, if it is a 1 kilometer distance is there, then we call it as an 1 dimension. Okay, now here if we are measuring it in terms of either meter or kilometer or in terms of mile. Okay, if we are going to measure the distance, right, we are going to measure either in terms of meter, kilometer or in terms of miles. Okay, now what is a 2-dimension measurement? Okay, the 2-dimension, it is going to have the 2 power of unit. Now suppose if you want to buy one particular land in one particular city, if you want to buy an area or suppose a piece of area in a city, then here we are going to have one is length and one is breadth. So this is 1 dimension and this is 1 dimension. So length and breadth together, it is going to have the 2 dimension. And basically when we are doing a survey, what we are going to do in surveying is, we want to measure distance, direction and elevation. Now if suppose one area has been given to you to calculate how much is the area of that particular land, so we normally measure it into the length and to breadth. So this is another mode of your your 2-dimension or two dimension of measurement. Okay, so 1 dimension is over, 2 dimension is over. Here it is going to have length and breadth, here it is only going to have the length. So 1 dimension will be having the length, 2 dimension will be having the length, breadth. Okay, so 2 dimension we are going to measure in terms of meter square or in terms of square feet. Okay, we are going to measure in terms of meter square or square feet. Okay, this is regarding the 2 dimension. Okay, next is a 3-dimension. Okay, 3-dimension measurement. Okay, what is this 3-dimension measurement? It is going to have 3 power of unit. Okay, for example, suppose if you are going to have one particular box, okay, which is going to have length 1 meter, breadth 1 meter and depth. So 1 meter and 1 meter and 1 meter, how much is the volume? 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter. How much is the volume? The volume will be 1 meter cube. So if you want to measure any kind of a volume, it is going to have a length, breadth and depth. If any of the material, it is going to have the length, breadth, or any element which is going to have length, breadth and depth, we call it as a 3-dimension unit of measurement. Okay, so here if we want to determine the volume of say one box which is going to have 1 meter length, 1 meter breadth and 1 meter depth, we call it as a 3-dimension unit. We are going to measure it in terms of meter cube. Okay, length, breadth and the depth. Now, surveying point of view, we are going to learn regarding the surveying measurements. What we are going to do in survey measurements? We are going to do in surveying, we are going to determine the we are going to determine the distance, direction and the elevation. The distance, direction and the elevation that we are going to determine of one particular object. Okay, so here we are going to, in a surveying, right, in a surveying measurements, we are going to have the two types of measurements. One is linear, one is angular. Now, what is a linear measurement is divided into two types of distances. One is horizontal distance and one is the vertical distance. Okay, now a linear measurement is, we call it as an horizontal distance if the distance has to be measured between the 2 points. Okay, now suppose this is one point A and point B. If the distance has to be measured in between the 2 points, now how you are going to measure? You are going to measure either by using chain, tapes on electronic distance measuring devices. So distance you are going to measure, I have told, either meter or kilometer or in terms of miles you are going to measure. So horizontal distance, here when we want to determine a distance between the two particular objects, we will be measuring it by using chain, tapes or electronic distance measuring devices. Okay, so here if it is measured in the horizontal plane, okay, if the distance is along the slope. Okay, so here we are going to measure the distance, okay, by using chain, tapes and EDMs. Next is the vertical distance. Now suppose if we want to determine it is measured along the gravity of the relative point to determine the difference in elevation. Now suppose if we want to determine, suppose there is an inclined area is there. Okay, there is an inclined area is there. Now suppose if you want to know what is the difference between this particular point and this particular point, right, how we are going to measure? We are going to take one of the point of reference. Okay, suppose this is at a lower height. Now we will take it as a point of reference, and with respect to this we are going to measure this particular height. So suppose if we take this particular height as a 0 meter, okay, it is at a height of a 0 meter, then if we want to determine the height of one particular object which is present at, say, consider point B, and here it is considered that as a point A. Now A is at a 0 meter and B is at a what distance from A? It is at a 103.3 meter distance. This is at a 0 meter. This we have taken it as a point of reference, and the point B is 103.3 meter away from the point A. That means it is going to have the difference in height of 103.3 meter. The distance, the difference in elevation between point A and point B is 103.3. Okay, suppose if you want to measure, or if you want to measure one of the another point which is called as a C, right, A, B, C. A is at a 0 meter, B is at a 103. Now C, it is present at a distance, vertical distance of 70.1 meter. So the difference in elevation between the reference point A and the point C is how much? It is 70.1. Now here we are going to take the point B by keeping the reference it as a A. So here B is, right, it is having an elevation of around 103.3 meter from A. It is present at a height of around 103.3 3 meter. Okay, C is present at 70.1 meter from the point A. Now, Belgaum, as you know, it is at a higher elevation as considered to Goa. It is, we want to measure, suppose if we want to measure the at what height the Belgaum is present, then we will be measuring it from mean sea level. If you go to Belgaum railway station, you will be seeing the Belgaum's MSL, that is mean sea level. So what is this MSL is nothing but the vertical distance from the mean sea level. See, as a civil engineers, you should know what is this MSL. MSL is nothing but mean sea level from, suppose if you go to Bangalore, and in that Bangalore if you see an MSL level of around say 742 meters. Okay, now what is this 742 meters? It is 742 meters is nothing but from the mean sea level, right? From mean sea level. Okay, Bangalore is situated at a distance of 742 meters. This is just an example. This is not the exact mean sea level of Bangalore. Just this is, I am giving an example. Now, similarly, Belgaum, suppose if you take from mean sea level, okay, from mean sea level, Belgaum is at what particular height it is present, that we call it as an MSL. Okay, MSL, mean sea level. Belgaum, suppose if we will take an example, say 700 meters. So 700 meter MSL is nothing but it is from mean sea level. Belgaum is present at a height of around 700 meters. So it is going to tell you regarding the vertical distance. So whenever you are going to measure the vertical distances, if you want to measure the undulation of one particular site, okay, if you want to measure the one undulation at a one particular site, or how the plane of that particular area or that particular site, now from you will start the surveying from here, and then you will try to move it to the point B, from B A. Now here from A you will start to do a survey, and somewhere you are going to end it here at B. So here at A you are going to take some reference, right? Some reference you are reading you are going to take, and suppose B it is at a 3 meter. From A to B it is at a vertical distance of 3 meters. Then that is nothing but called as a vertical distance. Now we will see what is an angular measurement. Now this particular vertical distances we are going to take it by using the dumpy level or auto level. What is that dumpy level and auto level? We will see it later. Okay, I think horizontal distance you have understood. We are going to measure it by using chain, tapes or electronic distance measuring instrument. Then vertical distance we are going to take it as by using the dumpy level or auto level. And what is angular measurement? Now suppose now we are going to have an angle of around 360 degrees. This is 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 270, and again if you come here, from here again if you come back here again it will be 360. Okay, so this is regarding your angular measurement. Suppose if you are standing at a point B or at a point A, and if you want to measure the angular at what angle person B is standing from A. Now if you start to measure, then if you are going to get an angle of 35 degree, that is nothing but an angular measurement. Okay, now here you are going to measure it by using a compass. Okay, here you are going to measure it by using the compass. The compass diagram, the instrument I will, the photo of a compass instrument I will show it later. This angular measurement is again going to have the two angles. One is an horizontal angle and one other one is at a vertical angle. If you are going to measure the angle between the 2 points which are present at a same plane, means if you are standing here, right, if you want to measure from A to B, okay, here if you are taking it at 0 degree the angle, and B will be present at what particular angle. So if you measure that, suppose if it is coming at 30 degree, A you are going to take it as a reference point. You want to measure from A at what point the B is. So if it is at a 30 degree, then we are going to measure it at a we are going to say it is an angular measurement. It is going to occur when horizontal angle you can measure when the 2 points are present in a same plane. Okay, now same plane means they are standing on, suppose they are going to stand on the land. Okay, then you are going to call it as an the measurement horizontal angle measurement. Now what is a vertical angle? Okay, now what is a vertical angle is nothing but, suppose here there is a building over here, okay, and you are going to set an instrument, your theodolite over here. You want to measure the vertical angle of this particular building from this particular point. We call it as an from here, okay, from the reference line, this is a reference line, okay, from here if you want to measure the distance, okay, the angle between this point to this point, okay, we are going to measure it by using the theodolite. If you want to measure the angle in between this point, that is the reference or the datum, this is nothing but a building, okay, if this is a building here, from here you want to measure the angle of the top of the building, okay, from then your line of culmination will be from here, and then again you are going to sight it here, and you are going to measure the vertical angle, that is, suppose if it is a 45 degree, then you are going to get an vertical angle as 45 degree. Okay, so this is regarding the vertical angle. Next is suppose here you are going to have one particular area, okay. Now we will see the things one by one. Here you are going to have the 2 points on an inclined surface, that is A and B, okay, which are present on a slope. AB is nothing but the inclined distance, okay. Here from point A to B, I have made one particular straight line from A to B. This is nothing but called as an inclined distance, okay. Then we are going to have the point B1 over here. From AB is nothing but the inclined distance, AB1 is nothing but the horizontal distance between A and B, okay. AB1 is nothing but the horizontal distance, okay. Then BB1 is nothing but the vertical distance. This is AB1 is nothing but the horizontal distance, BB1 is nothing but the vertical distance, which is nothing but the difference in elevation between A and B. Here the point A is there, here point B is there, B is at a much higher point than the point A. Now what is the vertical distance between A and B? Okay, now A and B vertical distance is B1. So AB is having then horizontal distance of AB1, and inclined distance is AB, and the vertical distance between A and B is nothing but it is B1. Okay, so I think I hope you have understood what are the different types of measurements. Now in the next class we will be seeing regarding the different units of linear measurements. Okay, thank you.